Hey guys, Callie here, welcome back to my channel, and before we get started, you can probably hear super loud music below me coming up through my floor. My downstairs neighbors are having game night. You heard me, I said game night. It gets a little wild down there. And I'm up here making this video, so that's what that is. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the video. But you saw the title, so you kind of know my opinion on the movie Us by Jordan Peele. I watch movies all the time. I've never actually done a movie review, so hopefully this isn't terrible. I don't want these things to be long, so let's just get started. There are many good things about this film, and I'll tell you them right now. It's very original, which is good. I mean, I remember seeing the trailer Christmas morning, just a few feet from this very spot, and I thought, whoa, this is something new. You know, we haven't seen this before. And Jordan Peele he's known for being original. I mean, Get Out was fantastic, and we'll get to a little comparison here later. So just right off the bat, I was really excited to see the film, and the hype was crazy. The hype might have been a factor of why some people aren't 100% satisfied with this movie, because the hype was a little more than I think what was delivered. But aside from being a completely original concept, the acting was great. Actors did a fantastic job. The lighting, the director of photography, he did a fantastic job. Or she, I honestly don't know. I did not do my research. If you got nothing else to do, you're gonna have a good time. The things I didn't really care for, the tone was a little here and there. Sometimes it's trying to be funny, sometimes it's serious, sometimes a little bit at the same time, which is nothing wrong with it if you can do it right. But I think they were so focused on both of them that they didn't really put 100% of their time into one or the other, which kind of made it feel a little awkward and out of place. And as I mentioned, super original. I remember thinking, okay, it's a great idea, but how are they gonna stretch that into a feature film about 2 hours length? I'm sitting watching the movie, I'm kind of thinking, okay, this would have been like a great short film. It's a great idea for 5-10 minutes until you realize, okay, at this point, it's almost just 100% comical. Running around for a whole movie, versing yourself. It's eerie for the beginning, and then you're kind of like, all right, well, I've seen this for the past 45 minutes now. It's nothing new. It's kind of just, it's just funny. And this is not a spoiler review at all because the movie just came out yesterday. I mean, it's Friday now, but there's early showings, so most people probably haven't even seen it yet. When I go see a movie, something I just think about from the minute I get in my seat is, how is this gonna end? Is the whole family gonna die? Are they gonna defeat themselves? What's the resolution here? And I really don't like ambiguous endings. I know some people do. It's kind of up to interpretation from the audience. Everyone can kind of figure out how they want it to end. But if I'm paying you to tell me a story, I want you to tell me the story. I don't want you to say, well, there's this, and the rest is up to you. Give me my money back. If it was up to me, I can sit in a dark room and imagine literally anything. And that's free. So I want you to tell me word for word what's happening. And a lot of people, I was reading reviews, they kind of feel like they might have left with too many questions. There's nothing wrong with a couple questions, you know, keeps you thinking, and you can actually talk to your friends, have better discussions about it than if it's just a law of fact. There's really not much discussion there. And of course, like in any movie, especially from Jordan Peele, you're gonna see a shift from, oh, we thought we were here, but now we're kind of over here. And those are great. It's great to kind of detract the audience and make them kind of be on their seat the whole time, if whatever happens at the end doesn't ruin the integrity of the film. It has to be in the film's universe. This is possible. If you look closely, you can catch on. I know y'all can hear that. I don't know what game they're playing, but I think I want to find out. Great story, super original. The script, I don't think was all there. And this is where I'm gonna kind of segue into the comparison with Get Out. Jordan Peele's first movie, really. He had his whole life to think about that script. I mean, I don't really know when he began to think about it. He finally one day probably just got everything together and did it. And then when he's writing off the success of that movie, they're asking for more. He's already set the bar so high. If these could have been two separate standalone films, if you compare it to Get Out, you have to go above and beyond that. And that's honestly going to be pretty hard, especially when you had possibly decades to think about the script for Get Out, and now you have less than 2 years to think of something better. So I think maybe Jordan Peele, I could have waited. I could have waited another year to have this movie 100% great. It's okay because it was still a good movie, and I am nowhere near Jordan Peele, so if he's ever watching this, please don't hate me. When I was watching Get Out, it kind of felt like, here's our story, and things are happening here, 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 here. With this movie, it's kind of, here's our story, things are happening here, beginning here, and then it's just kind of like one long part from the beginning. You know what I mean? I like watching movies where it goes, this happens and this happens and this happens, so this happens. Every 10 minutes, something's kind of changing. You're on the edge of your seat. When it's kind of this happens, so then this is the movie. It's kind of like, all right, well, something else happened now. I'm kind of tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. And Get Out is definitely more of a straightforward film. It's kind of, while there's still twists and things you can think about and kind of connect later on, it's kind of, this is what's happening, this is this, and that is that. With Us, it's kind of up to the viewer to kind of think where this is going and what it means. And I'm not smart, right? That was too much work. These gears were just broken. And in Get Out, it was a lot easier to kind of tie in the racial themes and underlines in that film that tie into the current political climate. This one, I was kind of thinking, okay, well, they're fighting themselves. Is our worst enemy ourselves, or are we fighting them? Are we fighting someone else? Doesn't really make sense. I mean, when I first saw the trailer, I'm thinking, okay, our worst enemy is ourselves. Got it. And then you're watching the movie, you're kind of like, well, it's all over the place. And it's Jordan Peele, so you know it's going to tie in somehow to the climate. But to this moment, I'm still figuring it out. I really hope this wasn't too much of a spoiled review. I really don't think it was. I put no spoils in the title, so hopefully I stayed true to that. In recap, it was a good movie. It's a great time. If you're bored on a Friday night, go out and see it. It's very creative and it's very new. Now, if you're comparing it to Get Out, you might be a little disappointed. I think there might have just been a little too much hype behind it. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. The acting was great, everything was good. As we all know, the most important part of a movie is the script. So when that's lacking, that's gonna take away 3.5 stars. Or is that 4? It's gonna take away 3.5 stars. Well, I hope in this incoherent rambling that you guys might have found something useful. And if you didn't, give me a dislike. I need to know. Be honest, I can handle it. I need to face the music. Much like Bill and Ted Face the Music coming out summer 2020. Well guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you for the next one.